Authorities are obviously investigating the cause of the devastating fire. So let's speak now to Philip Prins, who is a fire manager at Table Mountain National Park. Very good to have you on this morning. We've seen some of your men in action. Can you tell us what the status of the fire is today?
Hi, good morning. Yes, completely different picture today than yesterday. The fire has now moved from actually where it started. It burned through Groote State, up onto Devil's Peak, and it's now within the City Bowl area. It's actually coming down onto the Vredehoek area. So what we have done from Table Mountain National Park and with our partners, the City Fire and Rescue Services, we have deployed our firefighters behind the houses within the fire break in the Vredehoek area. And that's where they are at this stage. They're waiting for the fire to come down. Some of the sections, the fire is making fingers coming down into the City Bowl, into that area. And they're already busy, fighting those fires that actually coming down onto the residential area.
Okay, and obviously that strong wind is not helping.
The strong wind is not helping. We've got 4 helicopters plus an Oryx helicopters on standby for today. At this stage, the pilots are just busy doing paperwork, doing some ground tests with the helicopters, getting everything ready. And then we will make a decision actually whether they will be able to fly today. This morning we did measure the wind speed, which was not great at all. This morning it was actually gusting about between 45 and 50 kilometers an hour. So that's not good, for our deploying of aerial resources for this morning. But as I said, we're going to make a decision within the next 20, 30 minutes whether we will be able to fly or whether we're going actually to wait for the wind to subside before we can actually put in our aerial resources.
And what is your message to those in the Vredehoek area and anyone close by to the fire? I mean, should they evacuate? And if so, how do they do that?
Yeah, well, we don't deal with evacuations. The City Fire and Rescue Services, that's, they're dealing with evacuations. We assist wherever we can, but the command in terms of evacuation, that comes from the City Fire and Rescue Service.
Okay, and how are those 2 firefighters who had to go to hospital and the status of all the other firefighters?
There was one from our side, from Table Mountain National Park, and one from the City Fire and Rescue Services. The guy from our side, he had wounds to his arms and his face, but he's doing fine. He's doing fine at this stage.
Okay, do you know yet what started the fire?
Okay, so we started the investigation yesterday already. The conclusion that we came to, and we're going to confirm that today, that it was an abandoned vagrant fire. That started on Hospital Bend, and that was more or less yesterday morning. Late last night, when was it, about 10 and 11, we had another 3 fires that was started just before you go into town, that Vredehoek area, on the left, close to Marion Roberts Quarry. That was started deliberately. We're also doing an investigation into that today, and we will also confirm that later today. But that was definitely 3 fires that was not the cause of the main fire, so that was also a concern to us, yes. And
how are the firefighters coping? Have they seen something like this in recent years? How strong are they at the moment?
Well, this was a very, very quiet season for us on this side of the mountain. With the peninsula, we had a very quiet season if you compare to previous seasons. So this is our first big fire of the season, and the fire season usually starts around middle November, and then it ends around by, say, the end of April, middle May. So this is our first big fire for this season. So our firefighters are also trained. They're all wildland firefighters. They train differently. They've got different equipment and stuff like that. So they're used to these conditions. This morning we're bringing in fresh crews. We're actually busy now changing our crews. We will have approximately 140 firefighters from our side, covering the various areas. We divided the areas in what we call divisions. We're now concentrating on what we call Division Charlie, which will be the City Bowl. So most of our firefighters is going to be deployed in Division Charlie. And then we also still have firefighters in Division Bravo. Division Bravo is the area between Newlands and Groote State. We can't leave those lines unattended. So we will also have firefighters in that area.
Okay, Philip, very briefly, I know this is a big ask because there's so many factors at play here. Are you confident that you'll be able to put the fire out today?
Listen, like I said last night, this is not a day or two fire. I mean, this fire is going to continue for days. And it all depends on the conditions. Today, the conditions is not very good for fighting fires, especially with the southeaster. You know, the wind is our biggest enemy when it comes to fighting fires. So we're going to try our best, but without the assistance, aerial assistance is going to be very, very difficult. I think the wind is actually dying down late this afternoon. Tomorrow, it seems, is going to be quieter, but I mean, yeah, we're going to try our best. But as I said, without aerial assistance, it's going to be very difficult trying to contain that fire in the City Bowl, which is Division Charlie.
Philip Prins, I know you're a busy man. Thank you very much for talking to us, and we wish you the best of luck.